You know that moment when your cat lifts their head, fixes you with that glassy, steady gaze, and the whole room seems to hush? It feels like they're looking at you, but what they're really doing is looking through you, sampling the pattern of your presence the way a musician hears tempo. To a cat, a face isn't a picture to memorize, it's a bundle of cues to decode. The cadence of your steps, how your shoulders hang when you're calm, the way your breath shortens when you're tense, the tiny rituals you repeat without thinking, these are the pixels that render you in a feline brain. When those pixels line up, you're safe. When they scatter, you're a question mark. That's why the same stare can feel affectionate on one day and appraising on another. They aren't judging your outfit. They're asking, is the presence I rely on tuned to the frequency I know? Because your cat doesn't file you away as human the way we file them as cat. They overlay their own social software on you. The cheek press into your jaw, the forehead bunt against your temple, the rhythmic kneading of your thigh, the way they escort you from sink to sofa to bed, those are feline to feline behaviors that you've been invited into. In their logic, you're an oversized, endearingly clumsy colony member who needs reminders about how things are done. You get the scent rub because family must smell like family. You get the slow blink because you passed the trust test for this minute. You get followed because important cats are not left to patrol alone. It's affectionate, yes, but it's also administrative. A quiet maintenance of the relationship in the language they were born speaking. This is why your cat can melt into your chest at 8 p.m. and jolt away at 8:02 when you laugh too loudly or reach too fast. To them, you are both protector and potential predator. Your size and reach can read as threat. Your voice, warmth, feeding routine, and predictable rituals read as safety. Their nervous system runs a constant check. Big thing near me. Safe or risky right now. That flicker you call moodiness is really risk scoring. You can tilt the scorecard in your favor by lowering your movements, bending at the knees instead of the waist, offering a hand to sniff before a stroke, turning your body slightly sideways instead of facing head-on, and speaking in small, round sounds. To a brain built to survive ambush, angles and options matter. Every time you give them a choice, approach or pause, stay or go, you add weight to the protector side of the scale. Stack enough of those micro moments, and your default identity becomes the safe thing, even when you move quickly by accident. You're also not just a person in their world. You're infrastructure. Every pass of whiskers and shoulder against your leg is ink on a living map. They stamp you with family scent and pick yours up in return, braiding your signatures into something shared. In a multi-cat home, that scent network is the glue that keeps politics from turning into conflict. In a single-cat home, it's the braid that turns me into we. This is why the first 2 minutes after you walk through the door punch far above their weight. If you pause, crouch, offer your knuckles for inspection, and let them rewrite your edges with a cheek rub or two, you shorten the time it takes for your presence to feel correct again. If you blow past them to the kitchen, you've left a familiar pillar unpainted in their mental architecture. And if you come home smelling like other animals, don't take the suspicious sniff personally. They aren't offended. They're verifying that their landmark hasn't been swapped out for an imposter. A quick rescenting session, some gentle chatter, a low posture, a few head bunts, restores the border. Food is the other pillar. Every meal you deliver says, the world runs on schedule. It's not calories that calm a cat, it's certainty. We hear 30 minutes late and think, oops. They feel the provider system glitched. That's why pacing, complaint meows, and cold shoulder dramas spike when dinner drifts. The fix isn't more food. It's better scaffolding. Tie mealtime to cues that travel with you. The same phrase in the same tone, the same short path from cupboard to bowl, the same pause before the dish touches the mat. If your life is chaotic, a timed feeder can carry the metronome, so your relationship doesn't have to. Keep treats out of negotiations you don't want to encourage, and let play, not snacks, be the default currency for attention. Predictability feeds trust. Trust feeds affection. Words matter less than posture in their world, so the loudest sentence you can say is with your eyes. Staring feels like intimacy to people. To cats, it feels like pressure. If you want to speak fluent safe, use the slow gaze-softening ritual. Meet their look, lower your lids in a lazy blink, let them float open again, turn your head a few degrees so one eye softens out of line, and breathe out like a contented sigh. That 3-beat signal, blink, angle, exhale, says, I am relaxed, and you can be too. Practice it at doorway greetings, during couch check-ins, whenever the air feels a little tight. Watch what happens. Pupils shrink, whiskers settle forward, shoulders drop a notch, and sometimes they answer with their own languid blink. You have just had a conversation in the only language a cat truly trusts. If you've ever been treated like a speed bump on the way to a window or water bowl, resist the urge to take it personally. In a cat's calculus, the shortest path wins. Your torso under a duvet is a log across a stream. They're not making a point, they're saving effort. If you'd like your ribs to stop being a bridge, make a better bridge. Lay a narrow fleece strip along the edge of the bed that is steadier than the shifting quilt. Set a step stool that lines up with the window ledge, or place a slim ramp from footboard to sill. Cats choose what's easiest underpaw. Offer an easier lane and the problem solves itself without a scolding that only teaches them you're unreliable at night. Rituals do the heavy lifting in a cat's emotional life. The ancient sequence is simple: hunt, eat, groom, sleep. If you let that sequence live in your home each day, you drain tension from all the places it pools. 10 minutes of focused play before dusk. Make the toy behave like prey, darting and hiding, with pauses they can solve, followed by a small meal, followed by a quiet grooming session, your hands count, followed by lights dimming and voices softening, tells a nervous system, we did our job. We rest now. Suddenly, 3 a.m. is less a time for parkour and more a time for dreams. If dawn drama persists, shift a sliver of that hunt and feed routine to the early morning and keep it contained. Structure doesn't mean rigidity. It means known beats your cat can lean on. When behavior bends in new directions, cling that sticks like glue, hiding that feels more like worry than preference, nighttime patrols that become insistent, assume body before behavior. Cats are Olympic-level stoics. Dental pain, thyroid swings, creeping blood pressure, arthritis that doesn't show until the jump fails. Any of these can push a cat to seek, avoid, or anchor on you in ways that look sudden. A vet exam is kindness, not drama. If the body is well, your environmental and training tweaks land cleanly. If the body needs help, you solve the root, and the mystery often loosens without a single treat or timeout. Because they mirror us more than we notice, your inner weather matters. Cats smell cortisol on skin, pick up microtremors in voice, feel the way a house slams from bright to dark with no glide path. A life that ends the day by collapsing tends to produce a cat who has to offload energy into you at the worst moment. Build a ramp, not a cliff. Lower a lamp. Put your phone down. Play a little. Feed a small, predictable snack. Say your bedtime word. Make your own breath slow and round. You'll feel your shoulders drop. You'll see theirs do the same. Emotional contagion runs both ways. Travel and change are advanced challenges in this language. A suitcase is a prophecy in fabric. The fix isn't hiding it, it's rewriting what it predicts. A week before you go, set the bag out open with a blanket that smells like your cat folded inside. Drop a treat there sometimes, let them nap in it, mist it with a tiny swipe of their scent cloth if you use one. Before you leave, feed on schedule, keep your goodbye boring, and let a timed feeder and a trusted sitter carry the metronome. When you return, kneel. Don't scoop. Let them read you nose to sleeve, restamp your edges, and escort you through the rooms that matter. Re-entry is not a place for jokes, it's a place for pattern. Guests are another stress test. Don't ask your cat to host, give them control of the guest experience. Crack a door to a quiet room with a high perch and a covered hide. Set a litter box and water there so they can choose invisibility without deprivation. In public rooms, put a small mat your cat already loves near but not in traffic, and coach your friends. No reaching, no staring, treat on the ground if the cat approaches, praise the mat, ignore the cat. Extroverts will come say hello. Introverts will watch you keep your promises from the safety of a doorway, and that is its own kind of affection. Scent is the passport that lets relationships move fluently across change. If you're swapping furniture, moving a bed, washing a blanket that's theirs, seed the new thing with the old smell before you reveal it. A clean pillow that carries a faint trace of their cheek says, already ours. A spotless one says, invasion, And now the work of claiming begins at 2 a.m. with your toes as collateral. If two cats are negotiating a truce, remember that shared scent precedes shared space. Swap blankets between their zones, rub a soft cloth on one cat's cheeks, then on the door jamb both will pass, feed on either side of a barrier where those scents mingle without confrontation. You aren't bribing, you're composing. Even play has subtext in this language. A laser pointer exercises legs and eyes, but asks the brain to chase a thing it can never catch, which can frustrate a nervous system. If you love the laser, end with a solid, stuffable toy they can grab and kill, then feed a tiny snack. That, I caught it, I ate it, I'll groom now, closure matters more than the calories involved. Puzzle feeders turn idle hours into solvable mysteries. Vertical routes turn small rooms into tall territories. A cardboard box isn't trash. It's a fortified keep at the center of a kingdom. We see cute, they feel safe. All the while, notice how often you're tempted to explain out loud. Cats don't learn relationship from speeches. They learn it from repetitions that make sense to their bodies. Greet them the same way. Name, blink, exhale. Let them leave every single time they want to leave. Invite, don't insist. If you mess up and grab at the wrong moment, repair in the language they understand. Averted gaze, low posture, a small, predictable routine right after. You aren't asking forgiveness, you're restoring a rhythm. There will be days when your cat looks at you like a stranger. You came home smelling like the vet, or your voice is too loud for the room, or your mind is far away and your body is full of edges. Don't chase the look. Soften and wait. Give them a reason to reclassify you, not a reason to confirm their doubt. The stare will change shape as the room changes shape around it. And that brings us back to the question that started all of this. What do they see when they look at you, if not human, if not bigger cat? The most honest word isn't a species at all. It's home. Not drywall and sofas. Home as a living, breathing reference point. Home as a smell that means we. Home as a sequence of dependable acts. When their eyes settle on yours, they aren't identifying a face. They're checking whether their world is steady. Your answer isn't a sentence. It's a blink, an angle of your shoulder, the path you take to the bowl, the permission baked into an outstretched hand, the way you let them thread their scent into your sleeve and don't flinch. Do those small things the same way day after day and the scanning turns to softness. They'll step past your cheek without reading it for danger, coil into the hollow behind your knees, and fall asleep because the presence beside them is the constant their nervous system is built to find. You'll still get the stare now and then, not as a challenge but as a check-in. Blink back, turn your head a little, breathe out. In a house fluent in that exchange, you won't wonder what your cat sees anymore. You'll feel it, quiet, warm, and ordinary in the best way, as they decide again and again that the moving landmark they call home is you.